Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am Fancy Fatale and I live in a fantasy world. Last year I made an art goals video for 2023, so I'd like to review those goals in this video, as well as set a few goals for 2024 and how I'd like to move forward in my art. During most of this video I'll just be putting a speed paint of another illustration I've done in the past with Tiv and Lita. Actually, it's more recent. Just so you know, that's what's going on. So, in 2023, I wanted to do more practices. I had started doing these types of practices where I had 5 different prompts each day, and I had to roll a dice to choose what I was going to do for that day. And I did make lists of each type of thing I was going to choose from. I just wanted to be randomized on what I did each day. So the lists that I had were scenes from the different campaign stories, comics that I have, character designs, that could be NPCs or PCs that have been introduced. Then I'd have the locations throughout the world of Yonder and now my campaign setting of Laroftia. And then there was erotic drawings for more adult content, and the final one was animations, very minor chibi animations that I worked on. I did do those throughout the January and a little bit into February last year, around the time that I made the video. I was quite happy with how those turned out, and I did them again this year. I didn't finish the month just yet. I have maybe 15 left to do for January 2024, but I think I'll be continuing to do those moving forward in regards to practices and a break as it comes to that part. When I've been producing comics all year, I'll leave a January 1 month to just be to alleviate burnout, as it were. Another goal I had was to increase the speed of production of my comics. I believe 3 pages, which comes to around a comic every 2 months, is a logical and good speed to not decrease the quality of the projects overall. So I think that's how I move forward, and that is how I did it last year as well. I only had a little bit of a slowdown when I was working on my campaign writing between May and June, I believe, but I still maintained, and I believe ended up with 5 issues being completed between the handful of comic lines that I have on my website. I don't know if there's a logical way to speed up the actual process of comic creating yet. I'll look for it as I produce, but I don't think I'll concentrate on that, because I think 5 a year or 1 every 2 months is actually pretty good based on one person producing such comics. Another thing I wanted to concentrate on, or not concentrate on, was line art in my artwork. I was leaning into colored sketches, and I did this for a good amount of the year in my works. It helped a lot with my anxiety and not overthinking such things. I don't like the scratchy look per se in my art, but I do keep the fluidity of that original sketch when I do clean up just the sketch and make it into the line art. In general, I'm loving how my works look currently. And it doesn't always require line stages, but to refine some more difficult pieces, I may implement lines moving forward just to fix specific parts of such pieces. A big thing for me last year was finally coming to the conclusion that I needed to detach from social medias, or just the impact that I have in general on the community, since it seemed it had been decreasing exponentially, as it were, and I didn't like that, and it gave me a very low sense of self-worth. So I had taken off some time from Instagram, and I believe I removed myself from a handful of socials, at least temporarily. I deleted my Discord maybe 3 months ago. Oddly enough, only maybe 3 people have noticed, so it seems like it was the right decision to make, because if no one's there to check in on my art or me, then it's not really a Fancy Fatale server, it's just another art community, which is fine, but it's not what I made it for. I made it to notify people when I go live, notify people when I produce pages, and notify people on new projects. And if people weren't there for that, it wasn't getting the right audience that I wanted, per se. Although I know there were people there who were there for that, and this isn't insulting anyone for that. I know people had to detach from the internet. So we're just going to restart that at some point, or if someone else makes it, I don't know. But it's not the concentration. But at this point, I don't really care who sees my artwork. And although I do hope it finds the right audience, or goes back to the correct audience it used to have. Another minor project, or major technically, but side project I've been working on or had a goal to work on in 2023 was tarot cards in regards to my characters. I haven't done a lot in the past year, but I do not want to rush them because I want them to have specific meaning to them, because you want these things to speak to you. So I think with the new increase of characters from Loroftia and any new ones that came up from Yonder in our gameplay will be better selected for the cards I couldn't figure out last year. So I might move forward with some more of those this year. But I think maybe do 1 or 2 in 2023. So technically a success. Moving into 2024 art goals. Tarot, as I just discussed, I would like to continue this project, trying to do cups, coins, pentacles, wands, swords, etc. for the lesser suites. Suits. My bad. But I'm trying not to worry about who are in those per se. And pardon me for saying per se so many times. I sound formal. But I want to just make those to be just maybe like dwarves, elves, and then other kind of people. So maybe the suits are just different races or different locations, rather than overthinking the people specifically in them. Maybe it'll be Easter eggs on who's in them. But I love creating and feeling closer to that practice of tarot because I studied witchcraft and paganism. So it's very important also to my new campaign, Loroftia, which I started in the past year. So I either just want to create random ones as I create them if I feel motivated. Maybe I'll make duplicate ones and just have to split up the different tarot decks, because there might be a Yonder one and then a Loroftia one. But I'm not going to overthink it. I just want to make them and just have a set. I just want to have things, and I'll eventually print them, and that'll be a future goal to send them out to people. This one's an obvious one, but continue to produce comic pages steadily. I want to get this story out. Shocker. And I took a long enough break during the campaign writing and then in January's sketch break, so I want to buckle down. And now that I have the process down for writing, thumbnailing, sketch refining, and page production throughout the whole issue of 30 pages in 2 months, I think that it'll go much smoother and I'll be able to do projects on the side without overthinking them. My goal is, of course, 5+ issues this year, per usual. But we'll see what else I can do. Back to the process of comics, I believe I'll be having the goal of producing issue 10, 11, and 12 for Feyward, issue 3 for Tempest, and issue 6 for Oath this year. Not accounting for if I might do an All Good Things issue as well for Yin and Yang. I'll have to decide what I want, but those are the main goals of issues for this year, because they're the next ones throughout all of those. And I'm very excited for all of that to get to you all. I'm finishing Tempest 2 and Feyward 9 right now, so I still count that as an in-between. I know it's technically this year, but I have a lot of it already lined and flatted, so a lot of content coming to y'all. Another goal that I've been considering since I've been so invested in my campaign, Loroftia, is that I might do my own lore dump videos for specific communities or groups within my campaign that the players might interact with, and that I might draw in a comic in the future. Currently, I'm not focusing on drawing my campaign yet for a comic because there's so much ahead of me for Yonder. But I might do very in-depth review or insights onto like the different covens of witches within my campaign, the different types of focuses they have, the history behind certain locations, just interesting things that people can listen to on the background, and maybe I'll put in minor animatics or illustrations I've worked on regarding those things. I think it'd be a good practice for myself as well as maybe something interesting for my players in the game. Final goal that I can think of at the moment is more types of content. YouTube and Redbubble. I know I discussed this in the last video technically, but I want to try to just make maybe shorter form contents to get out to more people, such as videos like one that I was writing today a script for is creation motivation or creative motivation. so that people who are a little lost on how to start, or if they should start something, what are the motivation and pitfalls, etc. I want to do videos on how to create interesting characters visually, and I want to create videos on how to create deep characters in their lore and how they're written and their personality, because I see a lot of flat personality characters, and I don't think it's it's not a flaw or an insult, but it's more of a people don't understand the depth of a person in their being, and playing a person that feels really whole can make the D&D experience much more rewarding and traumatizing, which I love. So I want to go into that more. I also want to make smaller videos like I did before with Lita. I want to do Tox's introduction. We'll do Sandrak's introduction, Missy's introduction, and of course the newer characters like Lich, my Void Mage. Love them. And then maybe other smaller things that are clip videos. But if people are interested in it, I might post stream videos if I stream more. I have not streamed much art in the past half year because I was getting no viewers, and it seemed like it was adding more stress than it was helping. But I do like having that as records, so if I download them, I can use them for such videos in the background for B-roll. So I might just do that anyway for B-roll. But yeah, as of now, those are my current goals. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. If you're interested at all, you can check out my website, fancyfatale.com, if you want to read the comic that I have been talking about throughout all of this. I also have Patreon and Ko-fi and all the other sites if you want to donate, help me stay motivated, which I should add that to the motivational part of Motivation with Money. But regardless, I appreciate you being here, and I'll have new videos soon. And here's to 2024. Bye.